I don't know if y'all have heard about the man versus bear topic. Would you rather be stuck in the woods with like a man versus a bear? Honestly, I have my opinions about it. I'm gonna play the initial TikTok.
Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
Can't tell if it's loud enough.
Man is scary.
With a bear. What I've heard about bears, they don't always attack you, right? Unless you look with them. So maybe a bear.
Depends what man, but probably a bear.
100% a bear, which is terrifying to say, but
definitely a bear. Some men are very scary out there.
A bear.
I would say a man.
Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or
This
a bear?
is, oh my, this topic, like, I say that this topic is silly yet scary for so many reasons. Because for one, this topic is silly because it's like, where did this conversation even come from? But it's also scary because I agree, I would choose a bear. But the amount of men on social media that are like so confused as to why women are choosing a bear is scary to me. Is this not scary to anyone else? I don't know. I'm gonna tell y'all why I would choose a bear. I would choose a bear because sentiment has been said by a lot of women, but like, bears, in my opinion, are a bit more predictable. Like a bear, if they killed me, it would be instinct. It wouldn't be simply because of pleasure or because of boredom. It would be because the bear itself is afraid, or the bear instinctually felt like I was a threat. Because I want to mince my words because this is TikTok and I want to post this video later as like a video. But like a lot of men, Yamina, thank you, because a lot of men feel like, how can I say this lightly? Let's paint the picture, right? Let's say I'm in the woods with a random man. We don't know if this man is a good person or not. We don't know if he is an upstanding citizen, if he pays his taxes, you know what I mean? We don't know what kind of person this is. Just a strange man. I can't choose if it's Barack Obama or someone else, right? Or a grizzly bear, let's say. Maybe I watch too much true crime, but like, honestly and truly, I feel like I would be very afraid of both. But at least if the bear unalived me, it would be because that bear is afraid, or because that bear wanted to protect its cubs or something. Not because it had this sadistic fantasy in their head that they wanted to play out using me. You know what I mean? You can't just look at a guy and tell if they're a good person or not. Whereas a bear, to me, every bear is the same. I'm afraid of every bear because of what they could do, but there's also a high chance the bear will just leave me alone. You know what I mean? I don't know. I know that's kind of like problematic, but like a lot of men feel like opposite. And I want to watch some of the TikToks that I saw because some of the videos I saw are actually kind of scary. The fact that so many people are going out of their way to not be able to understand this topic and why women feel the way they feel is scary to me. I'm not gonna lie. It's scary to me. I'm gonna play a couple of those, honestly. Hold on. Yes, I'm glad you agree, because a lot of times I feel like people try to make me feel like I'm crazy. I have these opinions and like, I don't know. Let me see if I can find them. 1 second. Oh, here we are. Let's see.
Well, I know we've all seen the video. There's a guy walking around asking women, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a man or a bear? Most of the women said a bear. I just want y'all, just hear me out. I just want y'all to slow it down and realize that social media isn't real life. You pull up all these fucking stats. 1 in 6 women will be attacked by a man in her lifetime. Only 1 in 1 million people have a chance to be attacked by a bear. Let's think about this. You live with and walk past in your life probably hundreds of thousands of men. You will probably never fucking just walk past a bear, all right? So no shit, okay? Jacksonville, Florida. The chance that I'm gonna walk up on a Kodiak bear? What the fuck? Slim to none ever in life, never. I don't even go to the zoo. Fuck is you talking about? That's one, that's proximity. The way y'all be bringing this shit up is ridiculous. The way that question should have been asked, would you rather be lost in the woods with a bear that wants to kill you or a man that wants to kill you? With a bear that wants to harm you or a man that wants to harm you?
I don't know. I feel like that isn't the point here. The whole point is we don't know the intentions behind the bear and the man. If we knew the intentions behind the bear or the man, then that would be a whole other conversation. Then it's like, okay, if I'm going to be unalived, who would I rather be unalived by, a bear or a man? In that case, maybe a bear. That sounds more exhilarating. I don't know. But like, honestly and truly, in that case, yeah, I'll still choose a bear. Like, at least the bear is doing it because of less sadistic reasons. I don't know, is that crazy? But like, that's not the conversation. The men who don't understand definitely don't understand women in our daily lives and worries. Exactly. Because it's like, and it's so frustrating. I made like the amount of men in my comments that were like bending backwards, like 180, trying to like not understand my point and what I was saying, to me is scary. Because it's like, so in that particular video, this is so random. I was speaking about Freaknik and how one of the reasons why Freaknik ended is because of, you know, SA. I don't want to say it on YouTube because I've been getting demonetized, but because of those things that were happening at the event. And literally that video, the YouTube short that I posted got like 10K views, and it was full of men that were like blaming the women, like, oh, well, if they weren't dressed that way, it wouldn't have happened. Or, you know, they weren't acting the way they were acting, it wouldn't have happened. And it's like, the amount of people that were willing to like blame victims to me was very scary. And it's kind of like similar with this topic. It's like, wow, like we're saying men are so scary and like this. And it's like, yes, y'all are. And if y'all didn't act the way that y'all acted, we wouldn't feel the way that we felt. It's like so much rather blame women for being afraid as opposed to blaming males for their actions. And to me, that is very scary. I don't know. Like the amount of gymnastics and Olympic type of behavior you have to do to get around the true fact that a lot of the reason why women are even the fact that we even have to contemplate, would I rather be in the woods with a man or a bear? Mere fact that we have to contemplate, to me, is scary. In a perfect world, it should be, of course, I'd rather be in the woods with a man. Like, why would I rather be in the woods with a bear? This is common sense. But the fact that we have to contemplate even, and then not only contemplate, but the fact that so many women are choosing to be in the bear with the woods, or the woods with a bear, is crazy. To like, it's, and the people will still be like, wow, women are so problematic. Like, why are they choosing the bear? And I did see another video that I tried so hard to find, and I could not find this TikTok. I couldn't find it. But it was a guy that basically, to summarize, it was a man saying that he basically felt like this conversation was like a problematic, and not only problematic, but like hurtful to him, because as like a Black male, he felt like when he moves through the world, women in the world are already afraid of him. So the fact that people were choosing the bear to him was like triggering, because he moves through the world as like a Black male. He doesn't like the fact that like women are like afraid of him, and when he comes around the corner, they like jump at his like the sight of him, which is like, I understand that, and it's a valid conversation. The topic was not, would you rather be in the woods with a bear or a Black man? It was, would you rather be in the woods with a bear or a man? And regardless of the race or the culture of the man, I feel like I would still choose a bear, because within majority of cultures, there is a problem with SA. There's a problem with things happening to women. It's not a Black issue, it's not a white issue, it's not an Asian issue, it's not a Hispanic issue. It's like male versus female issue. In so many cultures, it's an issue. I feel like I would choose a bear. Bruce Lee, it depends on the man. Bruce Lee type, Buddha, MacGyver, perhaps. See, and in that, if I could choose the man, then I would choose a man. Because in that case, I would choose a man that I know, or a man that I would know wouldn't harm me. But if we're talking about like a man, like we have no idea like who man is, what he stands for, does he pay his taxes, like we know if he's a good person, you know what I mean? If it's just like a random man, like picturing myself in the woods, I'm looking to the left, there's a random man from Atlanta. Looking to the right, there's a random bear. It's like, would frighten me more. Bear would really frighten me, because like I've never experienced a bear. Like I know what the bear would do, and I know there's certain things like you're supposed to like stand up straight and like roar at the bear. I don't know, maybe that would work, but like I don't know, like a part of me just feels like I can like fight off a bear more. Or even if my chances of being unalived were equal, I don't know, then I think I would still choose the bear, because at least the bear is doing it because maybe they're hungry, or they're afraid, or they're protecting their cubs, you know what I mean? Yep, bear if I can't pick a man. Yes. See, I completely agree. If I can't choose the guy, then I'm choosing a bear. Like 110%. Anyways, let me play another video.
You could get the real fucking answers. I ain't never even called a woman out of her fucking name. Not to her face. I think all that is terrible and wrong. But y'all acting like men are scarier than bears? You ain't watched enough nature documentaries, baby. Go watch
Men
the one
are
where they try to
scarier
get the
than
pictures of
bears.
that big ass bear and the light from
Am
the
I crazy?
flash scares them and a startled bear. I swear to fucking God, the earth moved when he got startled.
He said, if you're more scared of bears and you haven't seen nature documentaries, have you seen, what is it? IDTV or whatever it is? Oh my gosh. I used to have a true crime podcast. Like, it are scary. It's not the random man from Atlanta. No, if I had to choose between the random man from Atlanta in the woods or a random bear, I'm choosing a bear. You know the kids that man has? If you blink too hard, you're baby mama number 10. I'm sorry. Throw the bear a sandwich and walk. And see, exactly. But in that instance, it's like, throw a man like a, iPad or something. I don't know what men like. What do men like? Nikes? I don't know. You can't throw a man something and reason, It's like, why are you in the woods in the first place, sir? You know what I mean? That to me is frightening. I'm just saying. The true crime stories scare me. That's why I choose a bear. And I completely agree. Because I want to choose man so bad, but just the fear of not only there's a chance the bear will unalive you. That is true. But would I rather just be unalived and eaten by the bear or something? Would I rather be unalived and have so many potential other things occur? Like, to me, that is way more traumatizing and scary to me than a bear. Bears aren't hitting women in the head. Right? I shouldn't have laughed at that. I'm so sorry. Let me try again. Bears aren't hitting women in the head in New York City. And you're so right. If you're talking about that man that was, I think it was like this random guy that was running around the city punching women in the head. Was it the New York Puncher? What was it? I forgot what it was called. But there's a guy that was going around New York, like hitting women in the head and giving them like knots in their head. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Yeah, no. Bears are not going around hitting women in their heads. You're completely right. I digress. But yeah, I would choose a bear. And anyone that is confused as to why I would choose a bear, I would love to hear your point of view. Next video. The fact that someone was going around New York City punching people in the head is honestly scary. Like, oh my God. Where am I going? Oh, here's the video.
Dance with daughters. Would you rather have your daughter in the woods with a bear or a man? Maybe asking it this way will allow men some extra perspective of what women are saying.
Let's just stop acting stupid, okay? Let's just all collectively at internet decide to stop acting stupid. Ladies, I get it. I get your point. Men scary, men do bad things, but let's be so fucking for real right now. There's no way y'all would rather be trapped in the woods with a bear over a man. Y'all be meeting random ass dudes at the club and then going home with them that night. Y'all will talk to strangers on a dating app for 2 days and then invite them over to your house. I don't see y'all.
Okay, here's the difference though. It said y'all will talk to random men on dating apps for 2 days and invite them back. At least I had 2 days to get to know the person. I feel like that comparison is the same. I don't know. Because in that case, it's like, at that point, they're not a stranger to you anymore. I mean, after 2 days, they still are a stranger, don't get me wrong. At least I had 2 days to talk to the person. And this question, in this like reality, or in this, what is it called? Scenario, it's a strange man. Not a man I spoke to for 2 days. It's a random man that I know nothing about and a random bear that I know nothing about. Anyways, let's go.
Y'all taking trips out into the woods where the bears are at, yet y'all choose to be alone with random strange men every other night. I don't even know why I'm making this video, because the women that are committed to this goofy idea will be committed no matter what. But let's play a quick game to see just how stubborn and dishonest some of y'all really are. Let's make this all the way specific so y'all can't hide behind these abstract arguments. Would you rather be alone in the woods with this bear or this man? Would you rather be alone in the woods with this bear or this man?
Would I rather be alone in the woods with a man that tries peach cobbler and fried chicken on TikTok, or a bear? That is not the question.
Would you rather be alone in the woods with this bear or this man? And last but not least, would you rather be alone in the woods with this bear or this man? We all know what this man has done in his past. That still shouldn't affect your answer. If y'all didn't choose the man over the bear 4 out of 4 times, you're either delusional or you just flat out lying.
Dance with daughters. Would you rather have your daughter be in the woods like...
I'm stressed out. This is stressing me. This is so confusing to me. It's like he tried, like he went out of his way. This is the question, and he went out of his way to like understand all the responses to this question. Nobody said, would you rather be in the woods with LeBron James or a grizzly bear? If that was the case, then people would probably choose LeBron James. Like, what are we doing here? I don't know. I'm overwhelmed. Like, I think the question itself is like, it's silly to me. I'm not gonna lie. It's more so the responses to the question that really is scary to me, because the amount of people that are willing to hear the valid response that people have, like, I choose the bear because of X, Y, and Z. And they're like, no, you're wrong, because you can look at any statistic. Do you know how many women, you can ask majority of women, hey, have you ever been in a scenario where you felt uncomfortable around a guy for whatever reason, or felt uncomfortable but were SA'd, or, you know, something happened to someone yourself or someone that you know? And so many women, if you have that conversation with them, will be like, actually, yes, that has happened to me. Or even if it's like a touch that was inappropriate, or verbally that was something inappropriate, like, it's so common. So very confused as to why so many people are acting like they're choosing the bear over the man. Evidence is there. It's like people are just like choosing to ignore it. Just wait, Chris Brown hit Rihanna, and he did a lot to her in 2009 or whenever, but Chris Brown has done a lot to women aside from Rihanna. Like, he has a history of being like, I'm just gonna say inappropriate with women. Like, I don't know what his issue is, but like, I don't get it, I'm being honest. And people like to say, like, when it comes to Chris Brown, like, oh, like, y'all like to hold him to what he did in 2009 when it's been like a perpetual issue. It's not a 2009 issue. It's an ongoing thing. So you're right. But yeah, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't know. What do y'all think? If anyone in here is watching this, if you had to choose between being alone with a bear and a man in the woods, what would you choose? And if you choose man, I'm not judging you. I would just like to hear your opinion on it. I would choose a bear over Chris Brown any day. Honestly, Chris Brown, he's unpredictable. At least a bear may like look at you and be like, you know what I mean? Chris Brown, you never know. Allegedly. I don't want to get sued. But yeah, he has a long history of doing problematic things to women. He also has a long history of being like colorist, but that's another conversation. Strange bear over strange man. I completely agree. So sorry. But for the people that, or not people, for the women that do choose man over bear, specifically for the women that choose the man over the bear, like strange man, not like your brother or your dad or your teacher, like, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's like I wish I could understand their logic. Not only do I wish I could understand their logic, but I almost like, I guess I envy that amount of delusion. I don't know, like I wish I could feel that safe around people, but I don't. I'm sorry. Human brain is scary. It's something about like a male bear and a male human that just, there's a big difference. Like, they may be both males, but like, I can't. A human male's brain is like, it's fried. Like, I don't know what it is about the human that makes humans so sadistic and act the way that we do, but like, I can't. I've seen too much true crime. Like, I've seen too much ID channel. I've seen, I don't know if it's on Discovery, I don't know, but like, I grew up watching those documentaries and those shows. The amount of things that like men, humans in general, but like especially men, are able to do to people. To me, I can't, like, I don't want to take chances. I'm so sorry. There's men out there that literally like have wives and children that will like air the whole place out. Their wives and their children, their own family, and they're willing to air the place out on them. Just horrible. Little old me, I'm a stranger to you. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Am I crazy? Because I choose the bear. Yeah, I had some more of these. Male bears are vicious towards other male bears and offspring of other male bears, but humans are not their enemies. That's a valid point. So it's like I said, it's like to them instinctual, like a dominance thing. Like, I don't think a bear would feel like they need to insert their dominance over me. And even if they did, like, I think I would feel more at peace and at ease with a bear feeling like they needed to insert their dominance over me, as opposed to a man, like a human man. You know what I mean? Because to me, like, honestly, that's like one of my biggest fears. I can't even imagine it. It's so scary to me. I don't know. I feel like watching some of these other videos.
I am so disappointed in Ray William Johnson right now because one of the most insane crime stories has just happened. So naturally, when I go over to his page to watch his...
Let's see.
Would you rather our daughter be in the woods with a bear or a man?
Nope, not crazy at all. Thank you. Thank you so much.
They're just in the
Let
woods.
me read this. Is the man in the woods going to leave me alone? LOL. Do I have to talk to him? See, we don't know. We don't know if the man in the woods is gonna leave you alone. Like, it's a random man. We don't know anything about his background. We don't know anything about like the kind of person he is. We don't know if he volunteers at his church every Sunday. We don't know, you know, we don't know who he is. So it's a random man that you know nothing about, or a bear, a random bear that you don't think about. If you had to choose between the two, Tammy, would you rather choose a man or the bear? And if you choose a man, like, I'm not judging you at all. But if you do, like, I'm just really curious. I would love to hear perspective on it. We don't know anything about the two options, just that they're random to us and we don't know. I expect a bear to be in the woods, but a random man in the woods sounds like a serial killer. Exactly. First of all, why are you in the woods, sir? Do you not have a 9 to 5? Like, what is happening here? To me, that's concerning. What time of day is it? Do you not have a job? Like, why are we in the woods? To me, alone is scary. Like, if they're in the woods during the day, that tells me you don't have a job. And if you don't, I'm afraid. Like why is this what you choose to do in your free time during the day? And then 2, if it's nighttime, why are you in the woods? Either way, it's scary. Like, it's scary to me either way. A bear, like you said, Tammy, I expect a bear to be in the woods at any time of day because that's their home. That's where they live, you know what I mean? Or the forest, wherever. But if I see a man in the woods, I don't know. I'm petrified. I'm petrified in both scenarios, but like, it's like a different type of petrified. You know what I mean? For the man, it's like, why are you here? What are your intentions? And for the bear, it's like, I understand why you're here, but are you gonna leave me alone? Because I have every intention of leaving you alone. I'm gonna start it over.
Would you rather our daughter be in the woods with a bear or a man? They're just in the woods.
What kind of man? Can't choose.
What about woman or bear? You have an answer?
You know what's crazy? I didn't even think about that scenario. I didn't even think about if I had to choose between a woman and a bear, who would I choose? That was a really good question. I didn't even think about that. Maybe it's a friendly bear. It's hilarious.
That's worse.
Oh, that's worse. That's so interesting.
Would you rather
I didn't even think
our
about would I
daughter-
rather be in the woods with a woman or a bear. I'd rather be in the woods with a woman or a bear. Bears won't bother humans unless they need a snack at a gas station market. Honestly, there's plenty of like instances where bears are like, they just like walk past the people and they're like, women over a bear 90% of the time. Honestly, like that was a really, I didn't even think about that until now. Would I rather be in the woods with a woman or a bear? This is gonna seem biased. I feel like a woman. Is that crazy? Because I feel like if it's a woman, especially if she's like my size, now if she has like a bomba clot, then I'm done. But like, if she's like has no weapons, then I feel like at least I'm more likely to be able to take her. And also, I feel like if there's another woman in the woods, then I feel like maybe she's lost like me. Like maybe she's like, you know, but I definitely feel like I would choose a woman. Like you said, 90% of the time, woman over bear 90% of the time. I agree. I think I would choose a woman. I would just hope that she's like a good person. I would still be like worried, don't get me wrong. But like, I would feel a bit more at ease if I saw like a woman in the woods, like, okay, like maybe she can help me get out of here, as opposed to a man. And I feel like we have to explore why we feel that way. But again, I'm sure there would be a guy that would be like, Oh, how dare you say that? Like, oh, you would choose a animal over a man? And the answer is yes. I'm so sorry. Because what have y'all shown us to want to choose y'all over a bear? Like, y'all have shown us time again that the second y'all are alone with a woman, y'all don't know how to compose yourselves. So why would I not choose a woman or a bear? But in the case of a woman and a bear, I would definitely choose a woman. But like, I would be ready to fight her if she tried to attack me. That's all.
If I were alone in the woods, would you rather me encounter a bear or a man?
I live out in a more rural area. There are bears outside of my apartment all the time. If I make noise, they run. If I saw a man outside, however, I would be scared. That's a really valid point. That's a very valid point. So I've never really lived in an area with bears. So I don't have much experience with bears. But like you said, you make noise and they run. That makes sense. Because I feel like you can reason with a bear. Whether that sounds crazy or not, like you can scare the bear away. Whereas I feel like if a guy is standing in the woods, like looking at you like already sick, like why, like it's gonna be hard to shoo him away because he made the steps to get out of his bed, put on his clothes, get his car, drive to the woods, get out of his car, go into the woods, walk deep into the woods and just stand there. You know how much effort that takes? Whereas a bear is like, they already live there. You know what I mean? So if a man, if the guy took that much effort to go out into the forest, into the woods, then I feel like is more likely to do something violent or scary to me than a bear that just happened to we just happened to cross paths. So I'm in his house. So that makes sense. And then instinctively, I feel empathy with a random woman. I agree. Because I feel like first of all, I wouldn't be in the woods. But if I was in the woods, then I probably was lost or, I don't know. So it's like if I see another woman, I'm like, oh, maybe she's in the same position as me. Maybe she's lost or maybe she's afraid like me. You know what I mean? I agree. Now that I think about it, I think I would be like, hey, are you okay? Like, what's going on? I would feel a bit more comfortable and at ease knowing there's someone out there like me. You know what I mean? That's a really good point. Let's see what this guy says.
Is it a friendly man?
We don't know anything else. It's just man or bear.
I feel more like bear. I don't know, because I feel like I would know what the outcome would be with a bear, even if it was like an aggressive one. I don't know what the outcome would be with like a bad man.
Yeah.
So I think I'm more toward a bear. Both situations I get for a good man and a good bear.
Yeah.
True.
But I think more likely to anticipate what a bear would do than what a man.
If I were alone in the woods, would you rather me encounter a bear or a man?
I guess for me, I just look at it as the worst case scenario. Like, worst case scenario, let's say in the man instance, it's a bad man, then he's probably going to try to unalive you and do a bunch of other terrible things to you, either before or after or both. Where in the instance of a bad bear, like a bear who has bad intentions, I guess, whatever, then it's like the bear is like probably unalive you, maybe eat you. But it's like, at least if you eat, it's like because you're hungry. You know what I mean? Like you're getting something out of it. Whereas in the other instance with a man, it's like the things that he potentially do, it's like, I don't think about that. Like to me, that's like sadistic. And I don't know. I wouldn't, that's nauseating. I don't know. This is akin to me every time I request a Lyft. The amount of anxiety I feel waiting to see who my driver will be and if it will be a woman or not is so uncomfortable for my heart. That is valid. This is like a more like, I guess, realistic scenario, requesting a Lyft. I used to have to call Lyfts all the time, like a couple years ago, because I used to get off at like 2 a.m. And like just the amount of fear, like one time I had a Lyft driver who was a guy and he like drove past my apartment. Like, in that instant, the fear that I felt, like it was like, okay, like maybe this is an accident. Maybe he genuinely missed like the entrance to my apartment. But like, what if he didn't? What if he's driving past my apartment and taking me like somewhere secluded? Like the amount of fear that felt in my heart was absolutely terrifying. And it's like, if the driver was a woman, would I have felt that? There's plenty of women that like have bad intentions and that, maybe like are in cahoots with other people and like can take you somewhere to these other people. But like the amount of fear that I felt in that moment is like, there's a reason why I felt it. It's not like random. So I completely get what you're saying with that. And that is a more realistic scenario in this case, like being in a random car with a man at night, and that's honestly terrifying. I'd rather be in a car with a bear at night. Maybe not a car because that's an enclosed space, but you know what I mean. Men are always saying bear too when it comes to their daughters. This shows that human males know the true nature of human males. It's really sad that it has to be like, oh, like your daughter or your mother or your cousin, like a family member or your girlfriend, your wife, someone that you care about, for them to like truly understand it. For a lot of people, that's the reality. Like it has to be someone they know for them to really care and put genuine thought into it. And honestly, that's a part of the why the conversation is scary to me. 2 a.m. woman, I hear you. Yeah, I used to, this is random. So when I was in college, I used to work on campus by myself at one of the like buildings on campus. And it was supposed to be me and this other guy, but he would call in, like our shift was every Saturday until 2 a.m. something. He would call in every Saturday. So I would be by myself and I would have to lock up the building. So I would have to go like outside the building. It was like a huge like university building with like a key, like a manual key, not even like an electric one. And I would have to like go outside all the doors and like lock the doors by myself. And then I would call a Lyft to go home by myself at like 2 a.m. And I'd complain to my managers and they would not care. Like they would not like reprimand him or like have someone else come work with me. It would be just me at 2 a.m. at night by myself. And there were instances where like I called a Lyft, where there would be like a random person walking through campus, like, and I'll be like, is this person going to hurt me or are they just trying to get home like me? Like, and if it was a guy, I would definitely be a lot scarier than if I saw like, because on my campus, we all have like wild animals. Like I saw like coyotes, I saw skunks, like random like wild animals on my campus. And like, for sure, like the men scared me more than the coyotes or I forgot what the little like cat, is it bobcat? I don't know, but like humans scared me more. But yeah, that was very terrifying. Oh, okay. I think I saw this one. This is actually hilarious. I don't know why. Like this is like, this feels unreal. No way, like bear, like this has to be like a pet bear or like a bear in the zoo or something. I mean, maybe not, maybe this is like a wild bear, who knows? Because again, I think unless the bear feels threatened, like I think he said, unless they feel threatened or like you're near their cubs or something, like, or if they're like extremely hungry and desperate, then I don't see why they would kill you. Like, I've never been to Russia though, so who knows? Let's see what this guy has to say.
So a lot of you guys have asked me about this topic about a woman being alone with a man or a bear in the woods. I don't even know why this is a conversation. Like, it's obviously the man. It's crazy because a bunch of these women are acting like all men are Jeffrey Dahmer or something. They find about 1.4% of the adult male population is in prison. Of that, about half of that is for violent crime. So about 0.7% of males are locked up for violent crime. Which means the vast majority of men are not like that and do not do those things. Let me say this in a different way. If you were in school and your teacher came back and on your paper you made a 99.3 on your assignment, would you say that's a good grade? Yes, you would. The vast majority of men would do nothing to you if they saw you in the woods. You're far more likely to be helped by a man in the woods than to be harmed, especially if you look distressed or like you need help. Now, I've seen people asking about their daughters. Let's say you did have a daughter. Would you want a man or a bear? A man any day of the week. For one, that bear cannot communicate. That bear couldn't help get your daughter anywhere. That bear couldn't get your daughter to safety. That bear couldn't get your daughter out of the woods. That bear wouldn't even care. Your daughter would be lucky that that bear did not slaughter her. So this is from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Read the highlight below me. The first thing, never approach bears. Always remain at least 100 yards away from the bears, or the length of a football field. That's the first rule. Stay away. That's not because they're safe, predictable, and lovely. No, it's because they could rip you apart, and they have done so. I'm choosing the man every single time. So a lot of you guys have asked me about this topic about a woman being...
Okay, it's like, I do understand like where he's coming from, like less than 1% of men do these things. For one, I would really love to see like where he got his statistics from, but then also if that's the case, then why is it so common among women. Oh, I just saw this comment. Most psychopaths are not in person. Interesting. What do you mean by that, Key Love? Like, do you mean like virtual, or that is the lies this man is telling about crimes in men? Like, I'm like, where did he get these statistics from? Like, if it's true, where are the cited sources? I want to know. Because if this is the case, then why is it so common for women, right? In conversation, if you ask other women, if you get a group of 100 random women, right? And you're like, listen, raise your hand if any of you have experienced XYZ. Majority of them will raise their hand. So if it's less than 1% of men, then why is it so common? Convictions mean nothing. Almost every woman has a story, exactly, of feeling uncomfortable with a man, but I've never met a woman with a bear encounter. LOL. That is completely true. That is true. A lot of times women don't feel comfortable even going and speaking forward about it. So if they're not even speaking to police or authorities about it, then of course they're not going to be, these men aren't going to be convicted. Most psychopaths are walking free to do crimes. Oh, yes. I agree with what you're saying. That's true. Especially in this instance, it's like I said, people aren't reporting their crimes or speaking up about their crimes because they feel like they won't be believed, or even just a stigma. Like a lot of times, the video that I posted, right, about Freaknik and like the women that were aid, a lot of the men were saying, well, if they weren't dressed the way that they were dressed, then it wouldn't have happened. Or if they weren't dancing the way they were dancing, then it wouldn't have happened. If I was a victim, right, I would feel so petrified of, for one, how other people would view me, right? And the stigma that would be put on me, like, okay, she must have been acting this way. She must have been dressed this way, right? That's traumatizing. Like the act itself, like, is traumatizing, but then coming forward with your story and then having people tell you your X, Y, and Z, it's like re-traumatizing you all over again. So if you're not coming forward, then of course the people that are doing these things aren't being convicted. So it's like the numbers are going to be skewed. The rate at which it happens in real life versus the people that are actually convicted is going to be offset because of that. I'm confused about their reasoning. Honestly, me too. Like, he's going out of his way to ignore the point, in my opinion. But I'm sure some people will say I'm wrong. I don't feel like I'm wrong, but hey, we'll see. Let's see what he has to say.
Lost in the woods with a bear that wants to kill you or a man that wants to kill you.
A bear having the desire to unalive a woman is still the worst that it'll do to that woman. And possibly eat her and feed her to its cubs. But mainly that, you know, they will maul you and leave your body on the ground.
Which, I don't know if this sounds crazy, but like, if I'm in the woods and like I have to choose between like being unalived by a man or a bear that's gonna feed me to their cubs, honestly, like, this may sound crazy. At least the thought that I would be like sustenance for like cubs and or a bear and their cubs, to me is kind of like, I don't know, circle of life. You know what I mean? Like, at least I'm contributing to nature. So I like his point.
Brown and walk away, right? There's so many methods to defending yourself from a bear. You make a lot of noise. You make yourself seem bigger. You hit the bear in the nose. There's video of people hitting bears in the nose who clearly had the desire to unalive them, but because they kicked the bear in the nose, the bear left because it was hurt. Now, in both scenarios, the woman is running away. The worst a bear will do is it's like, right? It's a man chasing after a woman while she's running away.
That's terrifying.
Men can communicate.
Yes.
Unlike a bear, a man can laugh while chasing after a woman. He can say to her, shouting at her, while he's approaching her, what he plans to do to her. A bear cannot do that. A man can drag out his process of wanting to unalive a woman, purposely waiting until she gets tired and just staring at her, or, you know, and then continuing after her. He didn't care how badly she injured him. And let's not forget, a bear can unalive you, possibly eat you. Men can also and have been cannibals. There is no creature on this planet scarier than a human because of how intelligent a human is, how intelligent a man is, how a man can make up a whole storyline in his head of what he wants to do to a woman before he unalives her.
About that.
And we have...
I didn't even think about that when he said like, oh, the storyline, like the guy that could create. At least a bear, it's like, I mean, you can't really communicate with the bear like that. But like the bear is like, I'm gonna you because of XYZ. Like, I'm hungry, you're too close to my cubs, I'm intimidated, I'm scared of you. Whereas the guy could have a million reasons. Like, and not only that, but they can then lie. Oh no, I was at my mom's house at 7 p.m. It couldn't have been me. What do you mean? A bear can't sit and lie. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, this is terrifying.
Millions of cases to be looked at and see what men have done to women. There are no unknowns when it comes to what a bear might do to you. But depending on the man, you have no idea what he has thought of what he wants to do before he finally takes your life. That's what you're missing. That's what you're missing because you do not experience this type of fear. You've shared how tall you are. You're over 6 foot. You've shared how muscular you are. This is not a fear that you have when it comes to a man, another man.
In the lost.
Okay, I agree. But I feel like at this point, I feel like I've gotten my point across. But yeah, basically, in conclusion, in this essay, no, I'm kidding. It's a bear. Every day, all day, I'm choosing a bear because, like he just said, bear can unalive you for XYZ, but at least it won't be a sadistic reasoning like a human male, right? And not only can the male unalive you for sadistic reasons, but then they can go and lie to police and cover it up and hide your body and throw your phone in a river. And it's like so many things that can transpire before, during, and after that to me makes it much more scarier. So I'm choosing the bear. I didn't realize I've been talking about this for an hour. So I'm probably gonna end this live stream. So for everyone that was in this live and commenting, I really do appreciate it because it gave me someone to talk to and to respond to during this live. But thank you guys so much for watching this live.